Alright guys, welcome back to the second update on Tropical Cyclone Cheneso, which at this stage is a lot more likely to go into the Mozambique channel. It's likely not going to affect Mauritius, as we were expecting. It was a bit of a 50-50 split, and it looks like it is going to be entering the Mozambique channel after the centre was found to be a lot closer to the western Madagascar coastline than the eastern. And yeah, it's going to be bringing heavy rainfall still to Madagascar, probably throughout the next maybe day or 2 days, maybe even 3 days. For that fact, but of course we have some absolutely crazy stuff to go over, like the NavGem model, which is blowing the storm up, and it would be a pretty catastrophic event if the NavGem model were to play out. But currently the storm looking pretty healthy on satellite imagery, and the storm currently has maximum wind gusts of 40 miles per hour, that is 35 knots, a pressure of 1000 millibars, and it is stationary currently. It may be moving very, very slowly, but at this stage I think it is stationary, and it is a level 2 on my wind gust scale, as this latest update brought to you by Curtis Simplified. So take a look at the estimates here. I could only get 2, ATTF 30 miles per hour, Curtis Simplified analysis 30 miles per hour. We were unsure if we were going to put it at 25 miles per hour, but we are putting it at 30 miles per hour at this stage due to the convection still being pretty impressive over Madagascar, and it looks like the centre of circulation is still under that convection. Take a look at the GFS ensembles, and we can see this drastic change, or the GEFS, sorry. This drastic change is still pretty uncertain, but look at all of those pink trails. Those pink trails indicate a pressure below 950 millibars, so that would be a very powerful storm system. The average is around 974 at peak at this stage, but we can see all those models going towards Beira, in Madagascar. That is a very populated city off the coast of eastern Madagascar, southeastern Madagascar, and it is a very populated city, and I believe that is where the NavGem wants the storm to track straight into Beira, but we can see they're expecting, thankfully, the storm. This is literally best case scenario if the GFS ensemble play out. You can see it gets to a peak of 974, but it only briefly affects southern Madagascar. We want to hope that this stage that the storm doesn't go towards Mozambique. We want to hope that that black line there in the middle is the actual track. That would be the best case scenario, but we can see most of the storm start moving by around the 70, most of the trail stories start moving around the 72 hour mark, so around 3 days. But then within the next potentially 120 hours, the storm starts to get its move on in the Mozambique channel. Speaking of the NavGem, here is said NavGem model, and we could see this extremely powerful system heading straight into Mozambique. Also, another system forms near La Reunion and Mauritius, but this extremely powerful 950 millibars at peak storm system moves into the coast. Also, a bit of a funny thing forming over Africa. It could be a potential tropical cyclone forming over land in Africa. That is a very crazy thing, and you can see it actually gets to a peak pressure, that one around 1001 millibars, but that is definitely not going to come to fruition at this stage, as the NavGem is the only model what is predicting that. Of course, the NavGem is a pretty low resolution model, but still, regardless, NavGem predicting a pressure peak of 950 millibars is at least a category 3, I think, maybe high in category 2, and of course that storm forming near Mauritius later on, and it's actually coming from Cheneso. And it's moving actually northeastward, and then it starts moving southwestward, so a bit of a weird track that storm's going to be taking if it does happen. Take a look at some IR imagery here. You can really see the cloud tops here. Those dark blue ones, those are minus 80s and above, and if you see any whites, those are minus 90s. There's only really one spot of minus 90s, and that is in that like north western piece of convection. It's only very brief, it's just literally one dot of minus 90 convection, but consistent minus 80s. We've got consistent minus 70s widely, and yeah, not looking too bad, especially for a tropical depression. It's not looking that bad whatsoever. We are pretty unsure at this stage if this is actually the remnants or if it is still a tropical depression. It is likely the remnants at this stage, but it could still be a tropical depression after it has had some pretty decent convection blow-ups. And yeah, looks like it will be heading into the Mozambique channel. Take a look at some true colour floater imagery here, and we can see the storm system. Heavy rainfall still falling over Madagascar. It's been falling over Madagascar for like the last 2 days now, so very catastrophic totals have been occurring in Madagascar. But that is likely to hopefully start calming down within the next 3 days, 3 to 4 days, and then the storm will get its act moving in the Mozambique channel, and hopefully it doesn't affect any land. Hopefully it heads south like the GFS ensembles were predicting. and hopefully that is going to happen, because that would be the best case scenario at this stage. Anyway, thank you for watching this update on Tropical Cyclone Cheneso. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next update. Peace out.